for the highs, the lows, and everything in between.
Grab your drink, get comfy, and get ready for a chat with your new best friends.
Let's like this shit.
We are so glad that you're here. On today's episode, we're going to cover something that's pretty near and dear to us.
Yeah, so we're going to be chatting hustle culture. Is it toxic or not?
I love this.
We have a lot of thoughts on this.
Yeah, we have lots of thoughts. So
before we dive in, always starting with gratitude, because gratitude is the attitude. That was fucking cheesy.
Fun fact for those who don't know us very well, this is something that we do every single day.
Mm-hmm.
We have end of days and we pick out gratitudes every single day
on
purpose because we know how powerful that is.
Yep.
And I want to know her gratitudes of the day and I want her to know mine.
Yeah.
So starting with gratitude.
What are you grateful for today?
Saying you would be too cheesy. But I'm going to say you.
Okay, I love this.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for you as well.
Thanks.
But to not copy your answer, to like add something else in. But one, I am grateful for you. I love you.
I love you.
Two, I am grateful. So for anyone who is new here, hi, so are we. We are grassrooting this podcast. We don't have a fancy podcast studio. We're recording anything. We are using Kelly's apartment building, the rooftop essentially. Yeah. And it's like, we love it.
Stunning.
It's super lovely.
Yeah.
And I'm just really grateful that everyone was in here today so we can record some episodes.
Yeah. Yeah. So we can get comfy and really be in an area that makes us feel good to record it.
And it like feels good, looks good. And here's your sign. Take messy action. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah.
You don't have to have all the high-tech things. We are using borrowed space right now.
Correct. By the grace of God, literally.
Yeah. So
love that.
Do the thing. Okay. Hustle culture. Is it toxic or not? Thoughts. Go.
Initial gut reaction. Yes. But I have like a yes but for all of our improv people. Yes and.
Yeah.
Oh, this is such a big topic because there are seasons where I think hustling is important because you need to get your groove. Hustle culture to me has a time and a place. And so I think if you are constantly in a hustle culture and you use it as a badge of honor,
Toxic.
That is toxic.
Yeah.
I think if you're hustling because you're passionate about something, you're getting something off the ground, there's lots to do, you're just in it as like that solopreneur head to the ground beat, then I think that's where you are. That's just the season of what you're in. And that could be used even in business or out of business. Like, let's say you're getting ready, you want to just make yourself more healthy. So you're going to go to the gym. There's a toxic way to do it and a non-toxic way to do it. And I just think that's kind of life.
Yeah.
Right?
Too much of anything is bad.
Right.
Like, truly.
Right.
So my gut answer to it is the same. It's yes, but also no. It just depends. And it's a gray answer. And because I would also argue that the antithesis, the opposite of hustle culture, is also toxic. I think social media, one comparison on social media is just a topic on its own. And it's something that can be really defeating as a young entrepreneur, a new entrepreneur, or even someone who's been in the game for a long time. And they're like, what the hell? Everyone else is seeing so much more success than I am. I've been in this for longer. How am I not there yet? Or I just started, but they made it look like I can work 4 hours a day and I'm going to have everything I want.
Or a week.
Yeah, it's insane. So I think, and that's like the antithesis of the hustle culture. Everyone's like, no, you don't have to work yourself to the ground to get everything you want, which is true.
Yes.
However, the opposite conversation of saying 4-hour work days is going to get you to that multi-million-dollar business when you just start is just as toxic, in my opinion. And it's just not true. And it's setting people up for sadness, defeat, and quitting, honestly. Yeah. And I mean, is it possible to work 4 hours a day and have the multi-million-dollar business? Sure.
Yes, absolutely.
Is that going to be happening from day one? No. And if anyone tells you it is, they're lying to you. Don't hire them as a coach or a mentor. Don't look up to them. They're lying to you. And if they aren't lying to you and they figured out how to do it,
sign us up.
Sign us up. Like, because I'm pretty sure that's magic.
I mean, totally. I think, and there are other ways, right? Like that goes back to like how we work and how our brains work differently.
Yeah.
Brooke is a morning person. I am not a morning person. Like I'm very happy waking up at 9 a.m., having a slow morning, not starting work till 11. And I'm on the West Coast. So I already miss half the day compared to everyone else, but I'm okay with that. And then I make breakfast. And then I work my butt off for about 4 or 5 hours. And then my plan is then I go to the gym or I do something for me. And then I come back and pick it up. So that is my schedule. And some nights I'm working till 3 a.m, but that's just kind of my schedule. That's just how it's working.
Yeah. Is that healthy to do forever? Do we want 3 a.m. work nights forever?
No.
But I think there's so much to be said about like knowing the season that you're in, and like everything is seasons. There's going to be seasons of life where you're putting more into work and having more of those late nights, and there's going to be seasons of life where you're like, I am going to enjoy the fruits of my labor. I'm going to go on the extra vacations. I'm going to take shorter work days. It's all seasons. So I think there's a time and a place to hustle. And I am a morning person, but I also love a 3 a.m. work night. Do I want it all the time? No. But like sometimes when you're in the zone and you're just like really riding that creative high and you're getting the intuitive hits and you're like, oh my God, everything is just working so beautifully, follow it. Don't stop it. Don't let people saying, oh, it's so toxic. That's hustle culture, working until 3 a.m. Don't let that stop you from enjoying a creative high. Have fun with it.
If you are working for years every night till 3 a.m,
different conversation,
and you're burning out and your health is suffering and there are other things that'll start lacking, your relationships will like everything in your life will start kind of teetering, that's a different conversation.
Totally.
But there is a time and a place where like, yeah, like Brooke said, maybe I'm super creative today, but it didn't hit me till 10:30 p.m. and I pick up my laptop and I start working. Some people will say no. Me, I have a very short attention span. So like if I don't jump on it, it's gone. Even if I write a note about it, because in the morning I'll be working on client stuff and I'll be working on other things that I know that I usually do during the day. So I think there's a time and place.
Yep. I completely agree. So I think another thing to talk about when it comes to hustle culture is burnout, because the whole thing about hustle culture is saying it's going to lead to burnout and all these things, and you don't need to work that hard, and everyone romanticizes and making it look like you have to work 24 hours a day. I get it. And burnout is a real thing, and it's a real conversation. And I know I've experienced it. I know you've experienced it. So what's a time in your life that you've experienced burnout from maybe getting a little too toxic in your hustle?
Like personally, I live alone, right? So like for me, it's very easy to just pick up my laptop in the middle of the night. It's easy for me to keep working when I don't, I'm not seeing someone, I'm not cooking for someone, I don't have the family that I'm taking care of. And some people are like, wow, you're so lucky. And others are like, you work a lot. And I'm like, yeah, I do work a lot, but I love it. And I think there is a difference there of there are times and spaces where you can pick up your laptop and get a couple things done. But I've also been that person that picks up my laptop because it's like that. It's almost like a comfort thing. And if I'm not working, I feel like I'm not being productive.
Yeah.
Or if I'm not even just cleaning out my email at night, I'm not being productive because I'm not setting myself up for a better day tomorrow. Like you can kind of like get into these spirals, and then you realize when you're too far into it, like I am so exhausted.
Yeah. It's the energy that switches from empowered, working hard, building that dream life brick by brick, and getting what you want. There's a switch that goes into like desperation and overwhelm and a lack mentality. Because I would relate to the same thing. Like my husband calls me out all the time that I have a really hard time resting. And it's not that I don't physically take the days off. I do, because I'm trying to get better about work-life balance. But I have a hard time actually shutting my brain off and not thinking about all the things that I should be doing. I should all over myself. Also, we should all take the word should out of our vocabulary. It's a shitty word. But it's truly a switch. Like the second I think hustle culture becomes toxic is when you just feel that need of like, I have to do this or it's not going to work, or it's a desperation. It's a needy energy, and it doesn't feel good. It no longer feels empowering. It's no longer a creative high that you're following. It's I have to do this, or and it's like a tightness in your chest, and that is what's going to get you to burnout.
Yes. And I have experienced that in multiple businesses, but also in a corporate environment.
Oh my God.
So like hustle culture can also come from corporate of, oh, you're not working an extra 2 hours. You're not going to get a gold star at the end of the day. And then you feel like you're never doing enough. You're not being the best employee. You're not loving on your boss the same way, even though they are burning you out on purpose. Right. So I think it's not just an entrepreneur problem. I think it's a people problem. And if you're listening to this and you have a normal 9-to-5 job and you're like, oh my gosh, I feel that. We feel you. We both have been there as well. And that's where you have to kind of make that switch in your mind of, am I being productive or am I overextending yourself? And really only you can answer that question. Society can't answer that question.
No.
Social media can't answer that question. Your husband can't answer that question. And even to me, I am divorced. And when I was building my first business, I would work all day while he was working his normal 9-to-5. And then he would go and he would either go hang out with his guy friends, or he would play video games or read or do anything, and I would be cooking, I would be cleaning, and then after that I would clean.
Yeah. Yeah.
and then I would pick up my laptop at night, and that would be like when we were sitting down watching one of our shows together. And I would multitask, and I'd clean emails, and I'd make graphics for the next day, or things that I just knew I needed to get done. And he would be so mad. And I'm like, I'm building something that brings me joy, and this is my time. This is the time that my brain is firing right now.
Yep.
And I need you to hear me, and I need you to understand that. And it's not, for a while, it wasn't because I wanted to avoid time with him. It was because that was my creative time.
Yeah.
And I also, that's a good point. Lots of people have different creative times.
Yep.
Like someone's creative time could be at 6 a.m.
Morning owl, night owl, or morning person, night owl, all the things. Yeah. But no, hustling and growing your business can absolutely impact relationships. And I think that is an interesting conversation to go down. Firstly, to even circle back, I think it is true. It's different for every person on what your capacity is, because everyone can handle different workloads. What might be too much for one person could be too little for another. So like it is something that you really have to check within your body. I also think it changes.
Right.
Because again, life happens in seasons. Life is cyclical. There's seasons to it. There are times in your life when you can handle more, and there are times in your life when you can handle less. I don't believe really in work-life balance. I don't think anything is ever perfectly balanced. I believe more in like a harmony.
Love.
Like everything is just kind of working harmoniously together. And sometimes does that mean my personal life gets more of me than my business? Sure.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's the opposite. In times of hustle, more times than not, it's the opposite. And that doesn't mean I'm not showing up for my personal life or my humans or my relationships, but it's different. However, it can impact relationships really easily. So I think, how has your experience been when it comes to managing relationships that are being affected by your hustle culture and whatever that looks like for you, and then whoever's listening for you individually? And because I have some thoughts on the things you can do to kind of help with that, but like what are yours?
Yeah, I think there are some things where, like, for me, I'm one of the first entrepreneurs in my family. So people are always like, oh, well, you can work from anywhere. You can work from your laptop, or you should be here, there, and everywhere. That to me is really hard, because there's also a place and a space that I feel the best working.
Yep.
But I also have lots of family that know that I work on Saturdays and Sundays sometimes. And they think I'm
a workaholic.
Yes, I'm a workaholic. I'm overdoing it. Kelly, that's so negative. Kelly, you should stop doing that. Kelly, you should see a therapist. Shout out to our therapist, because I love my therapist.
We share a therapist.
And she's vastly underpaid. But a lot of people are like, oh, you're just overdoing it. Or, oh my gosh, like, you don't need to do that. Or like, I can't believe you haven't made it yet. Like, you shouldn't be working this hard anymore, blah, blah, blah. And for me, I'm like, yeah, but I love it.
Yeah. Like, side note, I love working on a Saturday and Sunday. Like, there is
I love it.
Every Saturday, Sunday? No. Actually, I love taking the Sunday off.
Yeah. Sundays are my days.
But like a Saturday work day kind of slays.
Yeah. Because, I mean, it's a different kind of work. And you get to stay in sweatpants, and you just kind of crank out some stuff.
And no one really expects anything from you. Like, the rest of the world's taking off. So, like, you are just in your little creative zone.
Yeah. Which is good. What would you say about that? Like, when people say things that are like, it's affecting your life or affecting your relationships?
I think the first thing, so I am married and adore my human. We have an interesting situation because I work for myself, so I can work anytime, any place. Alec works in retail, so he does not have the traditional 9 to 5 hours. So honestly, when I was working traditional 9 to 5, I really hated that, because it actually made it harder to see him, because he rarely got weekends off because he works in retail. That's the nature of the job. And so I would be off weekends, he would be off weekends, we'd never see each other. So now that I can work anytime, any place, it's lovely that I do get to adjust my schedule to match my husband's a little bit better. So sometimes, yes, that means I'm working on weekends. Do I have to? No, I can take off whenever I want, but I like working on weekends. But when it comes to responses to relationships and managing them, and especially with my husband and like our different schedules, but like they can kind of match, it's really just communication. It's communication and sitting down and level setting. What season, we're going to say season a million times in this episode, because it's really what it is. But like, it's level setting about the season you're in and saying, hey human, husband, wife, friend, mom, dad, sister, brother, whoever, child. I can't really speak to the children thing yet, actually. So I don't have your answer if you're a mother. Sorry. Hopefully one day. But I think it's level setting and saying, hey, I'm in a season of hustle right now. I had this conversation with my husband. We had it recently, actually. We're both in seasons of hustle. He's trying to move up in his job. Kelly and I are trying to build this podcast, our event brand, our agency. Like, I am in a season of hustle. So I have had many a conversation just being like, hey, babe, I'm in a season of hustle. I may have a little bit more late night work nights than I would like for us to have in like our regular life, But please know that like at the end of this, it's so that I can step back from business a little bit and have much more me time and family time and all the things. And it's not to say that I'm not having any of that time, because it is important. Even if you have communication, even if you level set, you still need to create time and space for it.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Even if you're crazy busy,
Yeah,
like you guys are really good on your big ass calendar. You build in date nights and you know that in advance.
Yes.
Right. And that's important too, because that's a value of yours.
Correct.
That's really, really special.
And I think that's a big piece of it. It's communicating where you're at in the season and just letting them know, hey, I might be a little bit more out of pocket than normal. And, you know, they also have the right to respond how they want to in that, but it should be a communication, not a yelling out fight, not a building resentment quietly because like she hasn't done whatever for me this week. Like, but I think, so even if you're having that communication and setting those parameters, it is important to just make sure, like, it's kind of like the, if you wanted to, he would saying. If she wanted to, she would. If you wanted to, you would. You have to create the time and the space, even if it's just the world's tiniest pocket. So for Alec and I in this season of Hustle, we have date night every week. Ideally, it's on Fridays. But you know what? Life's busy. It's crazy. Things change. We save it for every Friday. But if there's a week where we're coming up and we're like, actually, date night works better on Thursday this week, we're going to swap it. Cool.
Yeah.
Flexibility is the name of the game. Yeah. But I ensure in the times where I am having that family time, whether I'm home with family in Louisiana, having a date night with my husband, my phone is down.
Correct.
And like you can ask anyone who knows me.
Yep.
If I'm with family, good luck getting in touch with me. Truly, like if I'm on a date night, my phone is off. Like no one, like I have a handful of people who can get through my like do not disturb. Like there's not a lot of people that are on that list, because when I am having that time, it is going to be very intentional, and I want every second of it to be very focused, because I know after that I'm getting right back to work. So I think that your humans that you're growing relationships with can see that, and they can feel that, and they can know like, hey, I might not be getting a lot of your time right now, but I'm getting quality time when I'm getting it. And I think the quality is what matters way more than the quantity.
I agree. I thoroughly agree in every aspect. I think like I don't get to go home to see my family very often, but when I do, I also am not on my phone. And that is really important. Like you only get to see your family, your little nieces and nephews that, you know, hold your whole heart so much. And again, regardless if you live next door to them or not, there's still that like really beautiful, intentional time that you get to have, because you get to have that. And I think that's really special. And then the time that you get to work at midnight because you're excited about something, you get to do that. And I think that that's just kind of a different mindset reframe. So if you're listening and really you're struggling because people around you like don't understand, or you don't feel like you're burning out, you don't feel like that, but you are working a lot because you're working on something awesome, and Godspeed, like that's incredible. And we feel it and we value that for you, because that means you're doing something really cool. Like your purpose is like touching you, and that's so special.
Magic is created in those times. Like when you're feeling like in the pocket and in the zone, there is no better feeling. Like those times when you have headphones on and like you are just like so in it, and then like you step back and you like look at the clock and you're like, how did 8 hours fly by? But like then you look back at what you're created and you're like, this just feels good.
Awesome.
Like you are just in it. Like you're in, there's so many sayings for it. Like you're in the zone, you're in the pocket, clipped in, whatever you want to call it for yourself. Like ride those highs. Like that is God, universe, whatever higher power you believe in, literally handing you your purpose and saying you're on the right path. Go. Keep going. So like I think live into it, but don't forget that you're living into it and leaning into it for whatever your why is. And make sure that that is something that you're always coming back to. The second
you lose it,
you lose your why, and the second it becomes desperation and I'm grabbing that laptop to work until 3 o'clock in the morning because like I just have to, like this deadline's coming up and I'm not prepared and like I'm not gonna, and you go down that spiral in your head. Now your hustle culture is toxic. It's no longer empowering. It's no longer just like leaning into a season and building something incredible. It's now, and that's when you got to step back, and that's when you're on the way to burnout. And burnout's freaking hard to recover from.
Let's romanticize at least realizing when you're on your way, right? Because that's also really hard. Like you start going down a path.
Tunnel vision.
Yeah, and even if you're in a season of like hustle, you're gonna get there, right? Like if you don't recognize in yourself even just like daily little things that you need to like calm your mind, calm your body, calm your spirit. If you don't do any of that, that is the only time that I have gotten into burnout so bad, because I have neglected those important pieces for me. And even if like I have been in seasons, like we said, where I am, I'll just say, like, I'll call it right out. In the main season of me going through my divorce, in the first few months, I did nothing but work.
Yeah.
Because I already felt bad that I was already doing something giant for myself by getting divorced, right? So for me, it was really hard to really do anything else for myself. Because I was like, nope, I'm already doing this. Like, this is huge, and it is. If you also, I am holding so much space and love for any of you if you have been through divorce or if you're going through divorce. Obviously, that wasn't the topic of this conversation, but part of my story is that. And so if you're in that season and that is your escape, is like, I'm building this empire, like I have so much to do, I have to do this, and you're working and you're working and you're working. I remember burning out in that season and realizing, because even though I was working towards something awesome, I still neglected like me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah.
So with my point earlier of setting expectation, communication, and creating time and space for the relationships, you are you have a relationship with yourself. If you don't, you should.
Correct.
That's the one time I'm going to say should in a positive way. But like, truly, like it is ensuring that like you can be in a season of hustle. You can be in a season of working a little harder than maybe you want to forever, and maybe a little harder than what society says is normal. You're exceeding that 40-hour work week. Whatever it is, you still need to ensure that you are creating time and space for yourself. And again, people who are important for you, to you, but yourself. Because if you don't, and you don't fill your cup, that hustle is going to be for nothing. And that is what is going to start the spiral and the burnout, because there is something to be said about the habits that you lead with in your daily life, how you start your days, how you end your days. They help guide you through how you perform throughout the rest of your day. So, and it doesn't have to look for the same for everyone. There are so many like morning routine videos going around on social media. I've posted some myself. Like, I love a morning routine. I love a nighttime routine. And they're not one size fits all. You need to find what works for you, but you need to find something, because you need to do something for your body, move your body in some way, shape, or form, stretch, walk outside, go to the gym, yelling at myself here. You need to do something for your mind, and you need to do something to just like, for like your spirit. That's really, your spirit.
How are you grounding your soul today? Basically? Yeah.
And
also, what do you need?
What do you need? Doing something for fun, doing something for your inner child. Like, there's so many things, and just finding tiny little random acts of self-love and self-care for yourself throughout the day, whether it's how you start your day, end your day, mixture of both. It will make the biggest difference. And it's not selfish. It's actually mandatory. Truly.
Correct. Correct. And I mean, the amount of seasons that I have been where I skipped what Kelly needs because other things took precedence, or other humans.
Everything is always going to feel more important.
Yep. And sometimes that's easier, right? Like, people that love people tend to neglect themselves because they'd rather serve someone else. But that is a huge lesson of you will be able to serve everybody so much better if you can love yourself first.
It's just, it's a true irony how we end up being the first people we skip. Because ask Kelly, how insane am I if I skip meditation for more than one day, essentially?
A little insane.
Little nuts. My anxiety goes crazy.
Yes, and we both have these things, right? So like when she's like, I level set with my partner, right? She level sets with me as her business partner.
Surely.
Of like, 100%. Hey, we are in this season. That means I need X, Y, and Z. That means this is what my calendar is. Don't call me.
Literally, I will call Kelly some mornings and be like, hi, I am overwhelmed. I have way too much on my to-do list right now, and I'm recognizing that. So what do you need from me right here, right now, that I might need to add to this list? That is totally fine, because after this, my phone's going on silent for 8 hours. Don't call me. I love you. If you call me, something better be on fire.
Correct.
And it's level setting. It's communicating. That way, if she texted me a funny meme throughout the day and I didn't respond, she's not like, oh my God, Brooke hates me.
Right.
She knows exactly what's going on. And that communication, people.
Correct. Which is hard, right? And that is a learned thing. Like, we are not as productive if we can't communicate effectively.
Correct.
And Brooke and I talk all day long.
Too much.
Yeah, we really
never too much.
No, but that's that's why we have a podcast, honestly, because we would get into tangents like this. Like, let's talk about hustle culture, and all of a sudden 2 hours go by, and we're still on this tangent because we just love talking to each other about really impactful things.
Yep.
And so that happens. Like, randomly, I'll call her about something, and it takes us into a rabbit hole. But there are moments where we go, okay, we've been on a call for 10 minutes. We can't do this anymore. Like, right? You have things to work on. I have things to work on. We have stuff to do. And that is just And that is out of straight love.
Yep. Oh, 100%.
Because when I do well, you do well. When you do well, I do well. And that's just kind of the cycle of life.
Yep.
But really, though, like, I'm going to bounce the question back to you. If I don't work out for more than 2 days, I am not a happy camper.
Grumpy.
Yeah. And
lovingly.
Yeah, exactly. I am lovingly grumpy.
Kelly grumpy is a weird situation, too, because she's always very joyous. So I'm like, hey, are you good? You good? What's going on? And her grumpy, guys, is literally not mean at all. It's just, like, not happy bouncing on a rainbow high on life, Kelly. Like, it's just different.
So silly.
Whereas mine, when I'm spiraling in anxiety, like Kelly and my husband, well, I'm like, oh my God, this isn't working and everything's failing. And we're going to live in a box
Tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. And Kelly's like, when's the last time you meditated? I'm like, last week.
Don't ask me. You already know the answer.
I had to wake up and start working immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the toxic hustle culture.
Yeah. And
there is always 10 minutes in your day that you can find. I don't care if you meditate while pooping.
Mm-hmm. Do it.
Just do it. Nike sponsor us. Meditation
really
while pooping.
Really don't, Nike.
But truly, you can find some time.
Yes. And
whatever that is for you.
And Brooke fusses me because, like I said earlier, I live obviously way on the West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
She's about to be living way on the East Coast, and she's a morning person.
Yes.
So I'm about to be very behind
in the
standard. No. But I'm just saying, in my head, it feels like I am behind. And so my morning routine is not really a routine. Usually I get up, I make coffee, I get ready, I go to work. Like, I usually don't slow down in the morning because I already feel like I'm behind. That, and then I'll catch myself, and Brooke will catch me.
Yeah.
And be like, you have 10 minutes to journal.
Something.
What's in your head? Our emails can wait. You're fine.
10 minutes is going to be fine.
Yep.
Also, it is what it is. You're on West Coast.
Right.
Like, that is something that humans need to understand. And, like, just because you're on the East Coast and you're on the West Coast does not mean that I need my 5 a.m. to be as productive as your 8 a.m. Like, that's just not fair. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, like, and also, we're building our own business to do what we want, not to, I mean, lovingly and still ensuring everyone's taken care of. Always.
Yeah.
But that does not mean you have to sacrifice just because you live on a time zone 3 hours behind the other time zone.
Right. And also, when I take care of myself first, I take care of everyone else first.
Yeah.
So if Kelly does get her 8 hours of sleep, that's incredible.
Right? I love 8 hours of sleep.
Yeah. Big sleep fans.
Yeah.
But that's part of it. Is like, I will, for months, I would wake up feeling bad already. And that is
there was a season where you were waking up with headaches like every day.
Every single day. And I felt awful. And then I had to try and work to get over that. And then I couldn't get over that. And it was just like a non-stop, really awful cycle. And obviously I'm still like positive and joyous and happy. But it was rough. And so once I realized, no, Kelly, you need 8 hours of sleep, regardless if it's 12 to 8, regardless if it's 9 to 5. I don't know. I'm really bad. 9 to 5?
Sure. Yeah, fine. 9 to 5. Wow, that's an 8-hour workday. We're idiots.
Thank you.
Working 9 to 5.
Sleeping 9 to 5 or whatever it is. If I don't get 8 hours, I am not the same person.
Correct.
And so that is just something that I had to just sit with and be like, that is who you are, Kel. So you're going to prioritize sleep. And that was a huge form of self-love for myself. I am more productive. Your
work is better.
Yeah.
My work is better when I fill my cup first.
Yeah. We are better members
of society.
Period.
Yeah. And then again, also, it's when you fill your cup first and then also ensuring that you are still having time for those relationships, whether it be friend, family member, loved one. It does not have to mean quantity. It's just quality. You will show up better in every other aspect of your life. And what's interesting about this is I would argue that the season that we're both in right now of working really hard because we're trying to get multiple brands truly off the ground in a big way and make a big impact and reach a large audience and all the things. So many could say we are totally in a season of hustle. I totally am. But hustle does not mean toxic working yourself into the ground until you pass out from exhaustion. Because I've done that too, legitimately. Like legitimately I've passed out from exhaustion before. Not healthy, don't recommend it. This is a season of hustle, but it's like a healthy hustle. Like you can be really passionate, really lit up, working hard, working more than 40 hours a week even. Sure. Not forever, but sure. and still prioritizing the self-care things that
The
you need
extra
to make you
things.
a functioning human of society that's not going to have a heart attack by the age of 35.
Correct. Because if you die, I die. That's basically it.
Ditto.
Can't have that.
Yeah. So, okay.
So regardless if you're in a season of hustle or not, we are here for you. And we see
100%.
that because we have been in very, not easy, but just like slower seasons, which are also beautiful. And we still close deals in the slow. Like
Yes.
there's still a magic in running businesses in that moment. But when you're in other seasons where you do have to work a little bit more and put a few more hours in, that's also beautiful.
And it's normal, people.
Yeah.
Please don't let social media is equally incredible and horrifying all at the same time. It can be toxic, it can be healthy, it can be all the things. Don't let people on social media who talk about how they built their businesses overnight and work 2 hours a day from a yacht in Greece once a week, essentially, make you feel bad about the fact that you are still working really hard. Because honestly, one, social media is a highlight reel. Two, we don't know if that's true or not. I have firsthand seen people lying on social media and know for a fact it's a lie. It's disgusting. And karma's going to get you. Three, you don't know what is going on behind the scenes. You don't know how many years of work they put in
to become the
quietly
overnight success.
To become the overnight success. And I think hustle culture gets a really bad rep because to me, hustle culture is really just working hard for what you want. The second it becomes desperate, it is now toxic, but also feeling like shit because you see people online working not at all and having exactly what you want and them saying that you're doing it wrong because you're not there yet doing the same thing is just as toxic.
More. I would say more.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to influence you in that fact that your life is not right. And that's just not true.
No.
Everyone's on their own journey. Everyone is on their own timeline of things. And like Brooke said, the overnight successes, I would
rarely
I'm
overnight.
just going to say very, very, very rarely. That doesn't happen. It's
Yeah.
not really overnight.
Yeah.
It's overnight plus 10 years. It's overnight plus the 2 years the mom took off because she had babies and wanted to do that.
And was working on it behind the scenes.
Right. There's always another line in someone's story that you don't know.
The mindset work they put in, because also we will do a whole episode on beliefs and how those can stop you and fast track or slow track your success. But you don't get to see all that always. So
stay hustling if that's what you're doing. But just
stay hustling, but healthy.
But healthy. Hustling and healthy.
Yeah. It's fun. And just know that your time and your season of not having to hustle and being able to live the yacht life with a chill work week is coming.
It's coming.
But you got to work for it. We all do. Cheers, friends.
Cheers, friends. Till next time.
Till next time. Thank you for joining us.
I love you.
Bye. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. We have new episodes coming out every Thursday, so we will catch you in one of the next ones.
And please take some time, follow us on @FindYourFuse or email us at info@findyourfuse.com for all inquiries and all exciting things that you want to chat with us about. We love building this community and we love you. Take some time and leave a review. Anything above 5 stars, we'd love it. But really, we appreciate you and we appreciate your feedback in any form because the more feedback we can get, the better we'll get.
Okay, love you. Bye.